So, in a game that has been described as one of JJ McCarthy's weakest performance of the season, where he threw a season high 335 yards, he did have 0 touchdowns, but also had 0 interceptions. And then he only had 64% completion on the night. That same game where Roman Wilson had a season high for receiving yards of 143. And that game also featured Blake Corum tying his season high for touchdowns in a single game with 3 touchdowns on the night. That game, some people are describing as an off night or a lackluster performance by the Wolverines, which was also a 41-13 win. If that is an off night, then I welcome it. Because I feel like it was not all that long ago where we were looking for just a competent offense, and before that, a competent defense. So if you're telling me that an off night for the Michigan Wolverines is a 41-13 victory with those kind of numbers, that is welcome. Because guess what? Not every Saturday will be an off night for them. When I think of an off night or a struggling performance, I think of a 19-17 win against Illinois, or a 20-13 win against Rutgers. Those are struggling performances. I'm not entirely sure how to frame up my recap episodes because they are different week in and week out, but definitely one thing that I want to feature on this week's episode is my favorite play of the game. And that was super easy this week because of Samaj Morgan's fantastic athleticism. His 44-yard rushing touchdown was slick. The timing of the handoff was so perfect because by the time the defense knew where the ball was, there were only 2 defenders that had an opportunity to make a play on Samaj Morgan. One was being blocked and the other one was not able to catch up. This dude is going to be fun to watch for years to come. And because of that, I really would love to coin some kind of a term. I know the team calls him jukebox for different reasons, but my mind goes to something like Samajenborg, like smorgasbord, just a buffet of touchdowns because he'll get it done rushing or receiving. And Samaj Morgan, I am here ready for it. So I'm excited for the rest of the season, but those to come as well. Besides the offense, the defense was getting it done as well. Because really, when you look at the 6 points that Purdue was able to put up in the first half, their offense only had to go 19 and 20 yards to get in field goal position. So really, the Michigan defense only gave up 39 yards to allow those 6 points. And then there was also the touchdown at the end of the game, which was unfortunate, kind of lame, but you got to figure that they're going to go all in and just see if they're going to be able to put more points up on the board. And the Michigan defense was not quite able to clamp down on it. And so the final score was 41-13. The defense was able to come up with 1 sack and 3 tackles for loss, but the offensive line was left wanting as they allowed 3 sacks and 5 tackles for losses. That's definitely an area for improvement moving forward. On third downs, the Wolverines went 50% for the night, while the defense was dominant and only let Purdue convert 1 of 14. That is 7%. Fantastic job, defense. So say what you want to about potentially being an off night for JJ McCarthy or even the rest of the team, but honestly, the receivers were not 100% supporting him because there were a handful of those incompletions for JJ that if his receivers were completely locked in, they could have helped rope those in for completions if they were playing a little bit better themselves. But honestly, we're being nitpicky a little bit here. There's always room for improvement in different areas, but there are bigger fish to fry as we are anticipating that Michigan's next game is going to be a top 10 showdown on the road against Penn State. We'll be connecting with you later this week to talk specifically about that game. So until then, take it easy. And as always, go blue.